Alright, what's up guys? We're back here with another movie review, and we are continuing with our series with movie reviews, but we are continuing to review all of Stephen King's movies. And now we're on to Children of the Corn Genesis. Now I only have one more Children of the Corn to review, and that's Runaway, but right now we're getting through Genesis. This is by far my least favorite. This one is honestly the worst kind of executed you could possibly do with one of these movies, because it doesn't have anything from the original except for He Who Walks Behind the Rose. It is an incredibly bad movie. It doesn't, a majority of the movie has nothing to do with Children of the Corn. It is about a preacher that has a son, and his son is basically like the Antichrist, and he has a German wife, and I guess the kid breaks down random cars on this road, and they're out in the middle of the desert because they can plant corn out in the desert. And I guess they can whenever his kid stops these cars, he kills the husband. Well, the kid kills the husband, and then the preacher gains another wife. It's really weird. He's got a cult of wives. So basically, he's also got a church in his backyard that's inside of his barn. And in this church, they perform sacrifices and satanic orgies. I had quite a time with this one. It was painfully bad. So the movie starts off with this kid. He's come home from the army, and I guess it's 1964 or something. And this kid, this kid that's come back home lived in Gatlin. And he left right before everybody in Gatlin got murdered. And he left right at the right time. And he came back to find that his mom was I guess he's walking around the house, and he finds out his mom has been stuffed full of corn. And then he finds his dad, and his eyes have been poked out with a corn ear. Then he goes up the stairs to find his wife. I guess she was killed while she was dressing. And it looks like she was stabbed with a pitchfork or something. And then there's this little girl up there, and then we get one of the many dream sequences of this movie. Oh, god damn it, I hate dream sequences. But no, I guess this army kid imagines that he sees this little girl in the corner, and she comes over and stabs him, and then he falls out the window. Well, he falls down the stairs, and then it teleports him out the window, so he falls out the window and crashes on the pavement, and then the screen goes black, and then we later find out that he's actually the preacher later in the movie. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. Oh, god damn it. So then we go to the future, and we meet this boyfriend guy and his wife. So boyfriend guy's car, he's driving, I guess. It wrecked. I guess one of the fuel rods breaks or something. I don't know. And they get stranded out in the road. And I guess his wife's a couple days. Well, a couple days or a week pregnant. She's not that much pregnant, but she has a baby. And apparently, this is their second time having a child, since the first one was a miscarriage, quote quote. We'll later find out that she actually got an abortion. It's a random ass scene later, and it's only referenced twice, and it's really unnecessary. And that's one of the many issues with this movie. This movie makes no sense why it was even created. Honestly, I think there only should have been one Children of the Corn movie. I mean, so, and I'm really not excited to find out what Runaway has in store, because again, it's probably another shitty sequel in this shitty franchise. And there's a lot of people that like these sequels, and I don't get them. They're stupid. They're incredibly stupid. Even though I will give credit that all the way up into this movie, they did have great kills. Now, this movie, not so much. This movie had pretty shitty kills. That's the one thing I will say about it. So, all right, let's talk about this movie. So, honestly, I prefer the shitty Isaac wannabes and the Isaac Returns over this piece of shit. Even though Isaac Returns and all the other sequels were shit, except for Final Sacrifice, because that was a so bad it's good movie, and Urban Harvest had some pretty damn good kills in it. So, but this one is a goddamn catastrophe. Oh god. So they end up walking like a mile and they run into this house, and it's owned by the army kid from the beginning, and now I'm going to call him the preacher. So boyfriend guy and his wife go up to the preacher's house, and he's got this like German wife, so I'm going to call him the preacher's wife. So the preacher's wife is behind him, and I guess he opens up the preacher opens up the door, and at first he doesn't want to let him in, but they need to use his phone, so he lets him in, and boyfriend guy's wife sits on the couch, and the preacher sits on the couch while boyfriend guy goes in the kitchen in the other room to call the police, and no, not the police, to call a tow truck. And preacher's wife follows him, and then preacher's wife like gropes him, and then he pushes her off, but then she like starts undressing on the kitchen table, and it's really weird. It's another unnecessary scene in this unnecessary movie. So he leaves the room, and he comes back in, and I guess the tow truck won't come, so they stay the night, and the preacher guy says not to go wander off. And so the wife goes out to use the outhouse, and boyfriend guy's wife goes out to use the outhouse, and boyfriend guy's wife ends up snooping around, and she finds this barn, and it's set up like a church, and it's got like a little shrine. And then we get another dream sequence where we get a body being cut open with a box cutter knife for sacrificial purposes, and a lot of leather straps and chains and some kind of satanic orgy thing. You got about as much. If you're as clueless as me, I honestly don't understand, because literally all it is images of a chest being cut open by a box cutter, and some chick with devil horns and leather straps and chains on her body, and she's like having an orgy or whatever. It's really weird. This movie is batshit stupid, okay? So then she walks out to this other barn that the preacher was at, because I guess the preacher's roaming around at night, and she hears a kid in there, but then she goes back to the house, and she freaks out and tells boyfriend guy that, oh my god, there's like a kid in there, and it's like some kind of satanic orgy church. And boyfriend guy's like, oh god, I will go call the police. So boyfriend guy gets stopped and calling the police, and the preacher's coming back to the house, so boyfriend guy's wife goes out on the porch to stall the preacher, and the preacher gets all weird and up close with her, like really up close, like really old man up close, because the preacher's in his 60s, I think. But boyfriend guy gets distracted by this camera, and there's like a bunch of close-up images of children's faces on it, and it's really fucking weird. So then he tries to screw the camera back on the stand, but then preacher comes inside, and boyfriend guy's wife comes inside, and boyfriend guy's wife tries to go call the police, and she calls them, and the police will come later, but she called them, and they're coming. And boyfriend guy's wife tried to put the phone back, but it flung into the wall and broke. And the preacher says, oh, the evil spirit, because the Antichrist kid in the barn is causing this. She thought it was a kidnapped kid, but it's an Antichrist kid. He's like, oh, he won't let you leave. And I guess there's a 2-minute long scene where there's shit flying everywhere. completely unnecessary. And I just gotta say, the wife character in this is one of the most annoying movie characters I've ever heard. I'd be like, fuck this shit, I'm out. And I'd be like, fuck you, bitch. It's like, you don't understand how frustrated I was with this boyfriend guy's wife character. So then they go back in the room, and I guess they go to sleep eventually after arguing, and there's a whole big thing where we get the reveal that she had an abortion and shit. Boyfriend guy's wife confronts the preacher's wife about the groping, and then there's more explanation about he who walks behind the rose and unnecessary padding and 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 dream sequence. Okay, now we got another dream sequence where boyfriend guy's wife is walking through a cornfield with a wedding dress on, and she's preggers, and there's children in the corn, and they're hacking her face up with scythes, and then she wakes up. And they wake up and they see a cop came, and cop looks around with flashlight. They start banging on the window, but cop can't see him because apparently he who walks behind the rose can now make people invisible and unhearable. And then apparently he also has the ability to launch people into orbit, because then the cop gets launched up into the atmosphere and does not fall back down. Yeah, it's as dumb as it sounds. It's about as dumb as the troll launch glitch from Skyrim. That's basically what it is. It's stupid and the CGI looks horrible. Okay, so cop car is now out there in the front yard, and the tow truck guy comes in the morning, and boyfriend guy and his wife go out, and tow truck guy seems a little creepy, so they steal the cop's car, and yay, whoop-de-fucking-do, they're on the road again. Oh, wait, there's still 20 minutes left of this movie. What the fuck? Okay, so now... Oh, god damn it. I guess tow truck guy brought over, like, a toy set for the kid, and it's like a semi-truck with a big rack on the back of it, and it's got a bunch of cars in it. So then, boyfriend guy and his wife are on the highway, and they are driving, and they're driving... arguing and driving and padding and padding and padding and action sequence. Okay, so oh god damn it. So this kid gets a hold of this toy set, and I guess we find out that the old preacher man that's in like his 60s screwed his German wife, which is like in her 20s. And I guess he fucked her, and that's the kid that he got. And yeah, I guess once the German lady gives the kid the toy set and then walks out, the lock flies off the barn door, and the door opens, and he launches a pitchfork out of the barn and stabs the German lady to death. I don't know, she gets pitchforked in the back. So then he starts like playing with this thing, and then the actual fucking truck shows up on the highway, because apparently he who walks behind the rose, the corn demon, can now miraculously cause Final Destination deaths to happen, because he starts flipping the fucking cars off the back of it. This movie is dumb as fuck, okay? No sane person can say this is a well-made movie and this is a good story. Oh my god, what the fuck? I read the short story. I know what I'm talking about. The short story had less detail than the original fucking movie. And the original fucking movie was only an hour and a half, and the last half hour of that movie was cut off. It wasn't even in the book. The book ended with Isaac not dying and Malachi dying. Or something like that switched around. The short story was even worse than the movies. Who would want to adapt this shit? Terrible. Oh my god. Children of the Corn Genesis. Anyway, this car starts Final Destinationing these cars off the top of its rack, and they start crashing, and there's an action sequence, padding, 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 car flip, padding, car flip, padding, car flip, padding. Oh wait, the cop car flipped off the road and killed the boyfriend guy. I am so depressed for boyfriend guy. Oh wait, boyfriend guy's wife is alive? Yay. I'm so happy. Oh, there's still 13 minutes left of this. Kill me. Okay, so weird delivery guy shows back, tow truck guy shows back up, and he takes boyfriend guy's wife back to the farm with the creepy preacher, and he says something like, "I'm sorry about your hubby," and I'm just like, oh fuck, please just end this. So he takes her back to the preacher, and I guess the preacher gets the creepy pervert eyes, and he's like, "I'm gonna put a baby in her." And then the movie ends with boyfriend guy's wife walking out to the barn where the Antichrist kid is and holding him while making sheep sounds, like whimpering or something. I don't even know, but that's, and then she looks into the camera and the movie ends, and I'm just like, what the fuck did I just watch? Oh god damn it. I cannot believe. Listen, I know I didn't post for like 3 days, but trust me, it took me 3 days to finish this one. This one was one hell of a shit show. I'm going to give this one a fucking terrible, because this movie... Well, I don't think I need to explain why I'm giving it that review, because this movie is it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I mean, now that I've watched all the Children of the Corn movies, I think the only good one is the first one, even though the first one isn't even that good, and the short story's not good either. I even read the short story. The entire franchise, it's kind of like how I don't like the Leprechaun franchise. The Leprechaun franchise is another shit show that I just don't like. I'm just not a fan of the Leprechaun franchise. It's too cheesy, it's too stupid, and it's got some of the cheesiest shit in it, and it's just hard for me to watch. It's just too cringy. And that's how I feel about these Children of the Corn movies. They're just stupid. Now, I can handle something like Chucky when... Like, I like Chucky. I like the later Friday the 13th movies where it knows it's stupid. I even like the originals. I like Scream. I like Hellraiser. I like Hostel. I like Saw. But it's just Children of the Corn, Leprechaun, Toy Master, Silent Night, Deadly Night. I'm sorry, I'm putting that on there too. I just can't stand those franchises because the sequels get so bad. Although I will say the original Silent Night, Deadly Night is great. And the remake, the 2011 remake, I actually kind of liked it. So I got nothing else to say about this one, so remember to leave a comment, like, and subscribe.